I'll start with, hey guys, my name is Trandon Roscostas, like the name Brandon with a T. I'm not kidding. I actually have a website called brandonwithat.com. Happy to be here.
He is one of the senior members where I work at Secure 24. Todd.
Oh, Todd Case. I am a home inspector up in Massachusetts and Rhode Island. Been doing it going on 12 years now. And I'm still in training, as they say. We're always learning.
And then Meredith.
Okay. Hi, I own Ally Property Inspections in Birmingham, Alabama. We also have a small location in Atlanta, and we are in our 11th year.
Nice. So the way that this all came to be and everything, I met Ben at a conference out in North Carolina and was asking Ben, how can I grow my business and how can I get in better contact with more InterNACHI members? So he said, get in contact with my guy, AJ. And so this is how this all came to be in the first place. I'm 40. I'm an Army vet. I was in the 864th Heavy Engineer Battalion, served 1 year in Afghanistan, saw some of the coolest and saddest things that I've seen in my life. I've been at Secure 24 just shy of 2 years now. And I recently met Todd going up to Boston, had to try some oysters. They were not as bad as everyone says.
They're pretty bad.
And saw Dunkin' on literally every corner. I don't know what it is about Dunkin' Donuts up there, but no, I met Todd up there. He's a cool guy, and we've been working together for about 2 months. So Todd, from the little bit of experience that you have working with me in this partnership, how do you feel it's going so far? I know the 200 normally goes to most of the home inspectors, but with you, you chose to take the 200 and give it back to your clients. Talk about that and the partnership. If you
Okay. So I had the bad fortune, the good fortune of me.
Just be honest, Tom.
I was trying to meet someone else, but he got in the way. We chatted. All right. So me, I'm former Coast Guard. So there's a little bit of vet brotherhood, so to speak, there. And we chatted about what you had to offer and everything, and I thought it would be a good idea. I mean, it doesn't hurt. I've brought it into my business where the people have the option of following, follow-up communications or opt out, which you guys provide that option as well. And I had one person call me and ask me, hey, how do I get more information? I said, don't worry, they will get to you soon. Because I had just finished up the inspection that day. And of course they were asking right off the bat. It was like, great. So yeah, so the idea of that $200, I sit there and say, I do my business based upon me. If someone else does some other business or services for someone and they want to give them a discount or whatever, or send it somewhere else, that's fine. I don't need it. It's not the way I work. Never has been, never will be. Right? I'd rather give it back to the people that need it or to the people that really need it, like the ones that are less fortunate. Right? I got a good roof over my head. I drive a good car. I have to have a really good car.
What do you drive?
Maserati GT.
Okay, all right, you beat me.
Yeah, it is a really good car, and I will admit I do not know if it does 185. I do know it does 145.
Well, by the next time we talk, we need to figure that out. We need to figure. I don't even know if it does 185.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to reach that song.
That's fine. Todd, had you ever worked with any other kind of like alarm providers? Like have you ever done a program like this before Justin approached you?
No, no. So my personal alarm company, ADT.
Yeah, cool. Well, thank you.
Been at my house for over 20 years.
Nice. I don't think you and I talked about that. That's
No,
cool.
we didn't.
There you go.
So,
More talking points.
No.
Trandon, you want to tell a little about yourself and then introduce Meredith?
Yeah, sure. So, like Justin said, it's my name's spelled right. It's actually Trandon. It's funny. A lot of times I'll go to Chick-fil-A, not a whole lot, but probably too much. And I'll say Trandon, and I'll get to the front of the line. They're like, I think they spelled your name wrong. I'm like, no, it's Trandon, not Brandon. So, but kind of a little fun fact, I have like 33 people in my family named with T's. It gets kind of crazy. There's a Tuesday in there somewhere. We need a Thursday. But anyway, so I've been with the company for 7.5 years now. I'll be honest with you, I never thought this would become my career. I was a youth pastor for 10 years, most of my adulthood, and then was out of a job for a little bit in 2016. Heard about this job, came in and started calling. And my first year was tough, but like any sales job is tough. You know, you have to just keep your head down and keep working and just surround yourself with the right people. And I did that. And I've had a lot of great success here. Meredith is one of those people. I'll get to her in a second. But yeah, so I live in St. Louis, Missouri. That's where we're based out of. I have two sons who are 9 and 11. They're awesome, but they're kids. And if you have kids here, you know that it can be trying. And as you guys can see back here, I play guitar. It's exciting. So if anyone requests a song in the chat box, it might happen. But Meredith, she's been with me. We're with our partnership since I think 2017. So she has been like a backbone for like my partners in all this, and we've become friends over the years, just from different. I'm hoping I'm right here. She shakes her head no that I'm wrong there. But she's an awesome woman, and she's an awesome business partner, and gonna let her come in and just share about her experiences with working with myself and also the whole partnership as a whole from someone that's kind of tenured in this business. So,
Yeah, Trina, I was just trying to think about, I was like, how did we connect? And I think you just called me. I think.
Cold call.
Yeah. Cold call. I answered the phone. So
yeah, thank you.
it was all history from there. Yeah. No, I think kind of like Todd, I'd never experienced kind of, I guess, doing anything with another vendor partner, but for us, if we can add value to our clients in any way, it seems to make sense to me. And so giving people reminding them that they probably should look at security and getting them in a good partnership with somebody like Trandon and Justin, it made sense for us. I guess, we're in 6 years now, and we've had quite a lot of clients utilize the service, and we wouldn't do this with just anybody either. Knowing Trandon through the years, I know he's such a great person, and his team is such a great person, that if there's ever anything that we needed or our clients needed, I would know that they could reach out to him, or we can reach out to him too, and it would be taken care of. So, for us, kind of like Todd, it's not just about the money, but it is bringing value to, I think, everybody that's involved. And, yeah.
Cool. It's been, you've been a joy to work with over the years. So if you guys, as you're listening to this now or listening to this later, a little more detail what we actually do. So we partner with inspection companies to serve and help your buyers save money on their home security. About 30% of new home buyers are going to get home security. When I first called Meredith, it was like 20%, and now like 30% because of the smart home automation, how it keeps coming out. About 30% of new home buyers are getting home security from somebody. And I know that we're not the only company out there, but we are the leading brand in that. Like Todd, having ADT for 20 years, was it? 21, 22? Yes. However many you said. We just want to help them get the best pricing on what we can. It's going to be no cost to the inspector, and then we're going to make you all more money. We pay a $200 referral check per person. We're able to help out with home security, and that can be sent by Zelle Pay to the inspector, or by check, whatever you guys prefer there. And it's just something that I always say is just going to cost you nothing, or something that's going to help your clients, cost you nothing, and make you more money. And Todd is obviously newer at this. Meredith has been with me for a while. I mean, obviously she's made money over the years from a while from this. And we love transactions, but ultimately we love the relationships that come out of these partnerships. And Meredith was one of the key people that I've really enjoyed getting to know these years. So Justin, what do you got, man? What are you thinking?
One of my favorite parts about working in the company itself is the transparency of everything. We're not the type of salespeople that are just like, hey, give me your client's information and I'm going to do whatever I can to sell them. It's, hey, here's the process that we use. You can track the process that we use. Not only that, I want your clients to know, and we want your clients to know that we're going to be reaching out. And if they don't want to hear from us, it's super easy. Like Todd said earlier, we give them an opt-out email. We give them multiple ways to be able to reach us. It feels like an upstanding type thing. I don't feel like a dirty used car salesman or anything like that ever when I come to work. So that's probably my favorite part of how we operate as a company.
Now, I do want to ask, Marilyn, go ahead. You have something?
Well, I was just going to second that because it's funny. My husband and I just pulled a reno loan, or well, what was a home equity loan to do a big renovation. You know, you sign lots of paperwork with them and none of it's, can we sell your information, that they're going to point out to you, but yet that's in there because I can't tell you how much solicitation we've gotten. And I think that's what sets ADT apart with our relationships, because we are so above board. You can say no. If you do say no, you're not going to get called. And so I think sometimes that's a lot of people's concern is like, oh my gosh, they're going to accuse us of, you know, selling your information. I'm like, no, this is voluntary. And it's a lot more daylight in this situation than there is with your mortgage companies. And even when they're pulling your credit, by the time you've done that, your information is gone. It's a lot of different places and you don't really get the option to opt out. So I don't view this nearly, you know, it's a completely different situation. And so I would tell anybody that if our clients asked.
Yeah, and with appreciate you saying that, because I want to even zone a little more. So we're saying ADT, but there's about 300 different dealers of ADT across the nation. So Todd and Meredith and a lot of other home inspectors work with us, Secure 24 dealer of ADT. So we can't speak on behalf of other dealers, but Secure 24, we're not going to share your data. We're not going to harass your clients. And then if you ever call me and say, hey, take this person out, not a problem. Like, we have account managers for a reason to help that out, because we're here to create long-term, example, Meredith, long-term partnerships where we become the people that you know, like, and trust in the industry. But also, I want to know, like, and trust you, you know? So it's a two-way street. And it's been enjoyed doing that. So question for Todd, Meredith, because when we call people, you know, we're cold calling people. That's how we do this. But obviously, Justin, you met Todd in person. At first, what was your hesitancy at first about maybe coming on board with us? Like, what are some objectives that you had at first about maybe working with us?
Justin, was I hesitant?
He was pretty hesitant at first. He was like, man, I don't want to do this. And then I was like, here's $5. Just please do it with me. Work with me.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Buy yourself a Dunkin'.
Did you edit that out?
No, it was.
Yeah, I would have jumped right in had he gone to get the Dunkins, but no, you know, no, just kidding. No, so when we actually met at a continuing ed class, right? So we had to do our continuing education for our licensing and such. And Justin was up there as one of the vendor sponsors, which was really great. And we just started chatting, and he told me about what it was and everything else. Now, normally what I do is I would give 3 vendors. You know, we'll say if we found, we're going to use the term every inspector hates, mold. Oh my gosh, we found mold in the house, right? Now we have to give out 3 vendors. The good thing is here, this is not something that is going to need further evaluation or investigation or anything like this. This is something that's going to help people after they own the house. Hey, guess what? You have a security system. Here's a great option. You know, right? Done. Right? It's not something that they're going to go back to the seller and say, oh, by the way, I want to have Secure 24 installed in this house. Right? It's their choice of what they want to do, which makes a lot of sense. instead of, oh, by the way, I need to have this mold remediation company come in and reevaluate everything because we think there might be mold, which is a little bit different. Same thing with like termites and such, right? And so when meeting up with Justin, it really was good. He did a great job of representing the company, and impressed me enough that, hey, I'm talking to him now.
Yeah, you're here. Even if, I mean, he didn't pay you $5, right? That was a joke. I'm just kidding.
No, he did. And I'm a little upset at that.
I'm upset because it's so low. I'm not upset about the money. I should have been like $35. Justin's got it. He owes me lunch, but
He could have gone up to 35.
Man, I ain't got no money like that.
yeah. What about you, Meredith? Is there, and I understand this is could be taken as a negative, but the reality is anyone listening to this has objectives. I get that. Like it takes good partnerships don't happen overnight. And we're here to face any objections straight on. So anything for you in the beginning or over the 7 years that you've experienced that has give you pushback that yeah.
I don't remember.
I don't either.
To be honest, you probably had to chase me long enough for me to answer my phone. So there you go, persistence and Trandon. So that's a good trait. I don't really remember. I think that we didn't know how it would go, right? Like anytime you do something new, you're trusting the person that you're doing business with. And Trandon is such a transparent person and I like the fact that Secure 24 does have a process. I think one of my big first questions was like, well, how many, how are you communicating with them? How many times? Is this like never ending? Are you going to be calling them in a year? Like, and I think that those answers were really important to me, and knowing that was not the case. There's a cutoff. If we haven't made communication with them, then it's kind of done. So
yeah,
I think those are probably the questions I asked, because those would still be the questions I would ask if, we were just now starting this.
Yeah, great.
And just to put out those exact numbers, since we didn't really touch on them, the exact process is a week later, they get an opt out. 2 weeks later is the first courtesy call. We tried just 2 more times, so 3 times total in a span of 30 days after the one after 2 weeks. So it's very non-invasive. We're just trying to help people out.
Yeah, well, the ultimate goal is to gauge interest, because the reality of it is, if you're an inspector, and I know that Meredith is the owner of the company, but if your inspectors are out there and they ask at the time of the inspection, hey, do you want these guys to call you? It's going to be a no. And here's not because it's an ultimate no, it's because it's too soon. They barely know you. They haven't seen the report. It's not on their mind. But a week later, it's different. It's like, oh, I've seen the report. Like, yeah, I'm more curious about this. And so anytime someone's like, hey, I'll just hand out a flyer, or I'll just ask them, I'm like, you can do that, but it's not going to work. Like, it's just, you're not going to see any results from that, because we just know. So.
No, I think you're exactly right, because at that moment, the home inspection, they don't know if they're buying the house or not.
No.
Sometimes, I mean, I get sometimes you can get just a bit into the inspection, they're like, yeah, we're not buying this. But a lot of times, maybe they need to see the report, like you said, to even decide if they're going to buy it. A week later, then they're usually thinking about moving.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, as Meredith points out, at the inspection, they're overwhelmed with all the information that they're given, especially like first-time buyers and such. Oh my gosh. I mean, it's like bringing a kid to their first school. Here you go. You're going to meet all these new things that you are going to have to adapt to, And then, oh, by the way, we want you to look at this security program that you may consider down the road. No, the process you guys use is really, really good, because of the fact that it gives them time to chew on what we've given them, talk to the realtors, talk to the attorneys, talk to the bank and everything else. And then you send them what consider, hey, by the way, this is also a reminder that you're going to want to possibly put in a security system, unless of course you have a bunch of dogs, and then you're all set.
unless they're like tiny dogs. Well, I guess tiny dogs can be fierce.
They're vicious.
Have any of you guys ever had your house broken into? Like, have you ever experienced that? So I have.
Had it broken into or broken into one?
Okay, well, if you want to be honest, Todd, I mean, you could just share it away because
No, I had to. I had
well,
to.
you had to. Are you allowed to share
Because
that?
the realtor forgot the keys.
Okay. Do you want to drop the realtor's name? I'm kidding. No, so that's funny. About 2009, I was in Ohio, and my wife at that time, we were at a church event. We were coming back, and she got there before me. And then she walked in. She came running outside. She said someone broke into the house. And I walked out, and the back door was fully kicked in. It was the most like terrifying moments. Like obviously, as a guy, there's a lot of adrenaline rushing for me at that moment, but it showed footsteps coming into our back area, coming into the kitchen, and the footsteps stopped, like because it was snowing out. They were just stopped. I'm like, this is creepy. Like either they realized that, they took off their shoes. The cops got there and they said, no, is anything stolen? We're like, no, nothing's been stolen. And then about 2 hours later, we realized they had stolen all her jewelry. I don't even know how they knew where it was at. All her real jewelry. She had her wedding ring. It was broken. It was on the sink. That was taken. And it just like it literally just like not just robbed our house, it robbed our like safe haven, like our safe, like our refuge. This is our safe spot. This is our place where we come and rest and feel safe. And that was before I knew about ADT or anything. And I just remember feeling like that. And I can only imagine how other people are out there feeling like that because people get home security usually to it when they buy a new home or when they get broken into. And as someone that's had a house broken into, and I didn't get home security. I will say I did. I printed off ADT things on a piece of paper and stuck them in my window. So I'm not sure that's even compliance, but I did it. I did that because I believed in that name then, so, but yeah, and obviously if people are getting home security when they're buying a home, that's why working with home inspectors is so key for us. Last month we had to go and work with 1,100 home inspection companies that sent us at least one referral. Most of those are a lot more, but it's just a gift to do what we do.
Yeah.
I think one thing I want to mention though, that I think that, anybody that's a home inspector should be aware is how much you guys give back to us as a community. I mean, Justin, I'm sorry, I don't think we've ever met, but I always look for Trandon every time I go to an IGO or an IEB. Because he's a super fun person to be with, but because they also too genuinely they want to make sure they're involved in our community as home inspectors and what can they do to bring more value to us. So it is more than just us giving them names and then potentially making money. It is a relationship. And usually Trandon and I are exchanging texts to like, hey, you're gonna be at the next whatever event,
Yeah.
Yep.
There's a quote that says business is not just about profit, but about purpose. Obviously, we're all in this to make money. We wouldn't be doing it. However, there's a bigger meaning to this too. And if I didn't enjoy seeing Meredith and a lot of my other partners, money's good, but I like to meet people and dig deeper in relationships and just ultimately, hopefully, make an impact in people's lives. So, thanks for sharing that. It's great.
Yeah.
Todd, you look like you want to say something. What's on your mind?
Yeah. You mean we're in this to make money?
I mean, you're not.
Dang. I didn't get that memo. Justin, what are you doing?
I don't know, man.
That's funny.
I want to say I second the second biggest thing that I like about working here is exactly what Trina was just talking about, and kind of what Meredith touched on. I get to call for the people that work with me. I get to call people all day and bullshit on the phone. Sorry for the curse word, but
he's got more to worry.
I get to make friends over the phone with people in the industry and hear crazy stories about inspections that people have done or things that have happened on inspections. Like this one inspector, he told me he was doing an inspection and for some reason there was a closet in the master bathroom and he puts a wet floor sign in front of every room that he's in when he's inspecting there. Well, they had the master control panel or whatever for the whole house in the master bathroom, that doesn't make sense. That's wrong. And he's in there trying to figure out why they did that. And the mother of the person selling the house came storming in, drops trowel, and immediately starts going to the bathroom without realizing he's in this closet. So he's sitting there hiding, standing there, tucked against the wall, not, too afraid to move or anything. And he doesn't know what's going on. She finishes up, gets up, and as she's standing up, she looks over, sees him, and screams and goes, "What are you doing in here?" And he's like, "Ma'am, I'm sorry you came in so fast. I couldn't say anything, and I didn't want to embarrass either one of us." And the way he told that story, I was laughing my butt off for 15 minutes afterwards. And I get to do that kind of stuff every single day. It's not just about, hey, give me your business on every call. It's, hey, what are you doing? What funny crap are you getting up to now? And to me, that's huge. That's that's probably one of the things that makes this one of the best jobs that I've ever had.
But Justin, can you beat that Trandon sends a newsletter every month to us that I read every single month? Because
You do?
yes.
Good.
So my husband is my CFO, so he takes the check and then brings me the newsletter.
That's cool.
Yeah, I need to get on the newsletter game.
I mean, the newsletter, like that, my heart behind that is like, well, like anyone's newsletter is, I try to bring people in because the reality is I don't always have money for everybody every month. I know I don't. It's a numbers game, and I hate when that happens. So if I have more to do with somebody than just alarms, everything just flows better. So I always send on my newsletter, I send something about the company, what's going on, maybe a goal we've hit, something personal about me and my boys, and then I try to add something on there that could actually help their life. When reading a book, I put a QR code on there to the book. I mean, you've probably seen those. If I'm working with I just try to add something on there that's ultimately outside of me, but it's going to help that person too. And clearly, it's working. I didn't even know she read it. So thanks, Meredith.
No, I'm so sorry. Well, just know
that's awesome.
I
Love
read
it.
it every month.
I'm gonna set Todd one. I don't even work with him. So Todd, we get one next one.
Awesome. I appreciate it. And now remember, I'm a guy, so it has to have pictures.
That's
does.
what.
It has to
yeah,
have pictures. We can't
honestly,
read without pictures.
Listen, I'm not a huge fan of newsletters with a lot of writing. I try to just do captions and not a lot of writing because I'm like, I don't even read newsletters writing. Sorry if you guys send me them. But yeah, so well, I'm gonna go back to what Justin said. So Justin's kind of gave a home inspector nightmare for one of his guys. Do you guys have a funny story about something you've experienced or one of your inspectors experienced that you can share live? That's funny. We could all laugh for a second. I have nothing to do with home security, but it's just for giggles.
Todd, I'll let you go.
Meredith,
I'm not-
seeing that
I'm
you've
not
been there for 11 years, right?
Yes.
Your guys must have told you something great.
I mean, I have a funny picture from, was it this summer, of a basement that was like they turned the basement into a beachside disco, if you can imagine. It had a pole in the middle with a disco ball and a sand pit.
Okay.
Yeah, we kept that picture.
The heck?
That's funny. Actually, Meredith just bought that. It's going to be her first Airbnb. She should take it.
Yeah, I didn't want to tell you. Whenever you visit Birmingham, I've got the place for you now.
That's good. I'm so excited. You just made my day.
So what you need is the basement that I went into where the water meter split in half. The homeowners were gone. They were away. They were down somewhere down south and everything. So we go in to do the home inspection. I hear running water. And we get in there and there's 2 feet of water in the basement. Right? Thankfully, the buyer was a plumber. Right? The town went out and shut off the water outside. And the plumber went in there and shut off things on the inside. Right? He had his rubber boots and everything. And because we're looking, they're going, hey, you got the water there. You got the electric panel right beside it. Good luck. Right? But yeah, there was 2 feet of water in that basement because this is the first time I ever seen a water meter split in half.
Wow.
It just opened up like a freaking can.
Man.
So we could have put that right next to your little disco beach party.
It was missing the water for sure. It definitely needed it.
I am not a home inspector, but I got to fit in somewhere. I used to work for Dish Network, and you guys you might all think less of me here, but that's okay. It's a long time ago. I also got let go. So, I'm pretty sure I measured correctly, and I guess I didn't. And I was drilling, so I was a technician for Dish. I was drilling in the outside of the house, and I drilled into the main power line, went into the house. Now, luckily, the Lord did not kill me that day, but I just felt a jolt, and all of a sudden, the homeowner comes out. He goes, "Why did my power go off?" And I was like, "I don't know." And yeah, I drilled into the main power line. It cost Dish about $3,000 worth of damage. And then about a month later, they said, "Hey, it's not working out here." I was like, "Yeah, I don't think it is either." So I'm done. I'll break it with a drill, but not drilling someone else's house. So that was my little horror story.
We did have an April Fool's Day where somebody had put a rather lifelike looking rubber snake on the floor as soon as you turned into the basement. You just like jump. I'm like, okay, that's decent April Fool's, you know. Nice little gag for the poor inspector that day. But
That's fun. That's fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, I go ahead, Justin.
No, you go ahead.
Obviously, we had you guys on here for the home security side, and you've shared all that. Is there anything, not to fully wrap it up, is there anything with, I know Todd, you're newer at this, but like Meredith, is there anything with our experience that you would like to tell the people watching this, the people that are going to be watching this, just about the program in general, just about just any kind of closing tips, I guess, for anyone that would be listening to this after that you haven't said?
yeah, well, I think if just by talking to you or to Justin, as their representative, you know, with Secure 24, I think just talk to them, you know. I think that's the first step, is talk to them, get to know them as human beings, so that you can feel comfortable and trust that your clients are in good hands and you're not just randomly giving over information to people you don't know and don't trust. Because I think once people just talk to you, it's not nearly as scary to just give it a shot and move forward.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Todd.
What we're looking at is it gives the inspector the opportunity to say, hey, by the way, after your transaction is complete, this is a great company to consider doing business with. It has nothing to do with the transaction in itself. So it's really it's indirect with us, right? We're not trying to push someone that, oh, look at this. Yeah, use these guys because why? Well, because I get money. It's not. It's use these guys because what they have for you is beneficial for you long term down the road.
Yeah, appreciate that. I was at a mastermind today in St. Louis, and I'm really glad because I want to ask you guys a question about what I heard today. What is the biggest? This is just more on you guys, and just more like for inspectors in general. Not so much about alarms, just about what is your biggest challenge in your business or with the market right now? And I'm kind of putting in a spot. You can pass if you want.
The biggest challenge?
Yeah, the biggest challenge with your business or the market.
Waiving inspections.
Yeah.
Because of the competition for the properties. I just had a realtor reach out to me. The people that I did a inspection with, right? Pre-bid inspection with, they didn't get the property. Someone went $500,000 over asking. No inspection. It's like, why?
That's interesting. We're not having that anymore so much in the Southeast. It's not unheard of, but gosh, yeah, that's crazy. I think for me, my biggest challenge right now is when you get to certain growth points in your business, the things you've done in the past stop working, and then you have to make new systems, and that's probably where I'm spending a lot of my time right now.
Yeah, appreciate you sharing that. Justin, want to say something?
The thing that I was going to say is just to kind of, I feel like we're coming to a natural conclusion here. Just to button up some of the added value outside of making money for yourself or giving the 200 back to the clients. You're also adding value to the clients by helping them save money on their homeowner's policy.
Yeah.
also adding value to the clients by a story that one of the guys who sits kind of near me likes to tell sometimes that happened to one of his people. There was a homeowner that he had helped set up, and in the middle of the night, a fire broke out in their house, and the smoke detectors were going off, but they couldn't hear them because the smoke had filled up their room for some reason a little bit first. So the smoke was keeping them asleep. The fire department, as they were showing up, ADT was in contact with them and unlocked the door for the homeowner so they didn't have to break the door down and cause thousands more in damage. So there's all kinds of things besides just security that getting a system and helping these clients get a system adds value to. Not only that, if they go to corporate because you're like, well, I don't want to help them because they'll just do it on their own. They can find ADT, fine. Well, if they go to corporate, they're going to pay $500 to $600 for installation, and then anywhere as low as probably $700 or $800 for the equipment, up to a few thousand for the equipment. We offer $850 worth of free equipment, and that's just the baseline. We give them free installation, free transfer, or reactivation of service. So these are all things that you're adding to your clients that are value adds for them that they're not going to get if they try and do it on their own. So, Trandon, you have any?
Well, no, that's great, dude. And with the Google invested in ADT a few years back, so we got the Google Nest now. We have Google cameras. I was in a Google meeting a few months ago, and they just basically said, "Get ready. This is going to be the best is yet to come." And it was just like exciting being a part of the company, knowing that like better equipment is coming, better smart home is coming, and so having that Google investment in ADT and having just better overall sharper equipment out there is just getting exciting. So, yeah, that's all I got.
Well, anyone have any final thoughts?
I'm supposed to think.
Yeah, you got to think, Tom. It's been a joy having you guys on here. AJ, who is not, he's listening, but AJ, man, thank you for getting us on here. Obviously, Justin and AJ worked this out, and I'm just honored to be here. And like I told you before, it's like a gift working with people because the real friendships have been formed. And by the way, Meredith, I saw Bobby peek his head in earlier, so sorry, Bobby, I didn't say hi. So, yeah.
I have to admit that Brandon, Meredith, it was great meeting you, learning a bit about both of you. That's fantastic. I'm learning more and more about Justin every day. I don't know if it's good yet.
Sorry.
I'm a little nervous.
By the way, next time we talk, Todd, I want to know if that car goes 185. Okay.
Then it won't, it'll have to be after the summer.
That's fine. I put a task.
Because it doesn't like playing in the snow.
Okay, yeah. So thank you guys so much for being a part of this.
And if anyone wants to reach out to me and work with me or maybe work with Trandon, the website that you can go to is s24alarms.com/Justin podcast. That again is S4alarms.com/Justin podcast.
Yeah. And if you fill that out, we'll give you a call. And just because you're filling out doesn't mean you're saying yes, just you're interested. So
yeah, just come have a conversation. Like Meredith said earlier, even if you don't want to work with me, I appreciate a good conversation any day. And I know Trandon does too, because I go and talk to him all the time. At least once.
So someone else, please call me. So Justin will stop coming and talk. All right, guys. I think our time is up. So appreciate y'all so much.
Thank you kindly. You guys take care.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.